Santa Swamin iti namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Jaya Radhe Shyam, 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 Jaya Radhe Shyam. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva Mai Subhadra, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva Mai Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Prahlada Daine, Prahlada Daine, Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha, Tilatanka Nakhalaye, Hito Narsimha Parato Narsimha, Narsimha Parato Narsimha, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha, Yato Yami Tato Narsimha, Bahe Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha, Bahe Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye, Madim Sharanam Prapadye, Tavakara Kamalavare Akha Bhuta Shringam Galita Hiranyakashipur Tanubhringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Dev Jaya, Narasimha Dev Jaya, Narasimha Dev Jaya, Narasimha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. Yellow Prem Dhani Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Ashtotra Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindha Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Ashtotra Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन धाम की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। Most auspicious Nityananda Trayodashi ki jai. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Up to you. There's not many people now, so you want to wait a bit? It doesn't matter.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you all for joining today. So now we'll be moving on to our Vedic discourse part of the temple program, and today we have His Grace Adishyam Prabhu who will be talking to us about the glories of Nityananda, especially because we just celebrated a couple of days ago the very auspicious day of Nityananda Trayodashi. Unfortunately, we don't meet on that day, so that's why we're celebrating today. And yeah, so let's all welcome His Grace Adishyam Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Gopi Jana Ballama Jaya Jaya Harivaranare Yasodanandana Brajajanaranjana
Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana
Yasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana
Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira
Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Jaya Radha Madham Jaya Radha Madham Radha Madham Jaya Radha Madham
Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav
Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari Kunja Vihari Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada
Jaya Guru Deva Patit Pavan Srila Guru Deva
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Patit Pavan Srila Guru Deva
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol जय जय राधा माधव की जय, कुंज बिहारी की जय, श्रीपाद गुरुदेव की जय, सनिता गुरु प्रेमानंद हरि बोल।
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So it's it's a smaller, intimate audience. All of you have already some knowledge of Nityananda Prabhu, so let's have a more active discussion maybe. So we'll start off today. We'll read from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we'll chant the prayers for that. So please repeat after me. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So this festival, Nityananda Trayodashi, is actually the most auspicious day in our Vedic calendar, right? If you've been to temples, we call many festivals most auspicious, right? They are, in some sense, they are all most auspicious. But today, this particular festival is extremely important to all of us. So we will learn why today and hopefully understand in our hearts. Before we get started, I want to also initially acknowledge and show gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. Without his efforts, at least maybe different for you from Bangladesh, right? But for us, I had never heard of Gauranitai until coming in association with Gauranitai until coming in association with ISKCON, right? To have an avatar like this, right? He's not even an avatar, he's Avatari himself, right? So to have such a personality who came and performed his Leela just 500 years ago and still not be available or be nobody being informed about it is quite amazing if you think about it, right? And simply by Prabhupada's efforts, right, by his incredible efforts, we at least have an opportunity to understand what sort of personalities they are. So, especially in Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, the real knowledge is one, but somewhere or the other we would hear Bhagavad Gita shlokas. But to hear Gauranitai's name, I feel is like almost entirely Srila Prabhupada's effort. Right? Even for us coming from India, especially South India, even though we know some Vaishnava philosophy, but none of us knew Gaura Katha or anything about them. Right? Okay. So with that, let's get started. So I have two sets of here for basic questions, but let's start with the basic ones. First, who is the Supreme Lord? How do we know? From the scriptures, right? We know from the scriptures, Krishna himself tells us it is there everywhere. How do we define the Supreme Lord?
Cause of everything.
Cause of everything, nice. Yes?
Who has everything?
Who has everything, okay.
Omnipotent, omnipresent.
Omnipotent, omnipresent, yeah.
Then 64 qualities by which we call him the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, 64 qualities, right? Yeah.
He can make himself bigger and smaller at the same time.
Yeah. Right? So that is one of the siddhis in one of the ashtas.
Personification of love.
Okay. Yes. But how would you, like, if you think about it, right? If you take all of these together, how would you define the Supreme Lord is one who is the source of everything and has no source himself. Right? If you think about it, there could be many people who would have, or there could be few people who would have a little bit of everything that we talked about, right? Nobody will be full in all qualities, that is for sure. There may be some yogi who can become smaller or larger. But the Supreme Lord is one who is the source of all and has no source himself. Anadir, Adir, Govinda. Right? Then of course, Sarva Karana Karana. Because he is the source of everything, he can be the cause of everything. Right? If you are not the source, you cannot be the cause. So now, Krishna is the source of all. Right? That means we are also from him. Right? We also come from Krishna. So now if you think about it, Krishna is our parent. How does a parent feel when the child is lost? Very anxious, right? The parent wants the child to be reunited. Forget lost. Even if I don't call my parents in my regular schedule, they're like, why didn't you call, right? Now imagine if we are lost, how Krishna must feel. So what did he do? He felt so much separation and anxiety out of love for us that he came and he gave all these scriptures. He gave the Bhagavad Gita, he came and said it too, and he said it in a very significant moment of the Mahabharata war that everybody should pay attention, right? But there was still a problem. What was the problem? Krishna said, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja. We look at that and we say, nope, too much. That is not possible for me. I cannot abandon everything. I cannot surrender. Right? So even though he came and he established, not only did he give scriptures through many sources, he came and spoke the essence of all scriptures, and still we couldn't pick up. And especially he saw that his children are all struggling, especially in this age of Kali. Right? So he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he came in the form of a devotee where he practiced. He showed how to apply all of these scriptural teachings in a very simple manner, a very simple, easy, enjoyable process. Right? Now, this simple approach is why we call him Mahavadanyaya. Because out of his mercy, he did this, right? So Indradevna Prabhu talked about the teachings of Lord Chaitanya a few weeks ago, so we won't go deep into that. But now we'll read from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 5, verse 4, 5 and 6. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Lord Balarama is his second body. Text 5. Though these two are one and the same identity, they differ only in form. Lord Balaram is the first bodily expansion of Krishna, and he assists in Lord Krishna's transcendental pastimes. Text 6. That original Lord Krishna appeared in Navadvip as Lord Chaitanya, and Balaram appeared with him as Lord Nityananda. Right? Now I read all the verses. Now I'll read the purports for each of those. They are very short purports. So purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Shri Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead, is the primeval Lord, the original form of Godhead, and his first expansion is Sri Balarama. The personality of Godhead can expand himself in innumerable forms. The forms that have unlimited potency are called Swamsa, and forms that have limited potencies, the living entities, are called Vibhinnamsa. Balaram is a Swamsa expansion of the Lord, and therefore there is no difference in potency between Krishna and Balaram. The only difference is in their bodily structure. As the first expansion of Godhead, Balaram is the chief deity among the first quadruple forms and he is the foremost assistant of Sri Krishna in his transcendental activity. So Lord Balram is also the personality of Godhead, right? And he appears as Lord Nityananda, right? Now you have to think about the power of Lord Balaram, right? So from Lord Balaram comes the first quadruple expansion, right? One of whom is Sankarshana. And from that Sankarshana comes the next quadruple expansion. Then from there comes Mahavishnu, right? And that Mahavishnu is, from that Mahavishnu there are more expansions, right? Yeah, so it's Garbhodakashai Vishnu, Karanodakashai Vishnu, Kshirodakashai Vishnu, right? Now, from the causal ocean, the Karanodakashai Vishnu, from him comes all these universes. From within each universe, covering of each universe, there is Garbhodakashai Vishnu, who is lying on the Garbhodaka ocean. From the navel of this Vishnu is the stem on which all 14 planetary systems are arranged. So you have to think, a personality with the power to hold up all 14 planetary systems and keep them running is an expansion of an expansion of an expansion of an expansion of Lord Balaram. Right? That is who Lord Nityananda is. Right? Now, Chaitanya Bhagavat has great details of glories of Lord Nityananda. So we'll read a little bit from there. And before we go there, so we are going to read from Madhyakand, chapter 12. This chapter is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorifying the position of Lord Nityananda. Right? Again, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He came as a Krishna himself in the mood of a devotee to set an example. Right? So this is verse 26. Simply by the mercy of Nityananda, one obtains devotional service of Vishnu. Know it for certain that Nityananda is the full potency of Krishna. This is commentary from Gaudiya Bhashya by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Mahaprabhu said, you should know Sri Nityananda Prabhu as the complete potency of Lord Krishna. He is the topmost amongst the servants of Krishna. Only by his mercy can one achieve devotion to Vishnu. This is very important, because he is, so not only is he has the full potency of Lord Krishna, his main goal, his only objective is to serve Krishna. That is all he wants to do. That is his main objective. Right? So when somebody is at that level, he is the topmost amongst the servants of Krishna, then if we want to achieve an ability to serve the Lord, that means we have to get his mercy. Right? He is the form of Vishnu presiding over the Sandhini potency. That although he is Lord Vishnu himself, he nevertheless serves the Supreme Vishnu. He serves the origin of all Vishnu Tattvas. Only by his mercy is the living entity's propensity for worshipping Hari awakened. How? As the Supreme Jagat Guru, Sri Nityananda Prabhu alone is the origin of Guru Tattva. In regards to the devotee Jagat Guru, the spiritual master is an incarnation of Sri Nityananda, who is the manifestation of Sri Chaitanya. The spiritual master is most dear to Lord Krishna because, like Sri Nityananda, he is also a manifestation of Sri Chaitanya, and he is renowned to be as good as Nityananda. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, as usual, if you read any of his writings, it's very, very deep. In a few lines, he actually explains so much content in there that it is not, sometimes I feel like it's not as easy to understand. Prabhupada's writing is simpler. with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, if you read his writings, it's like very heavy, very deep.
Even the other acharyas,
Yeah, yeah.
writing was not like easier.
It
for
is
us.
not easy to understand. So let's explore this a little bit. So Krishna says in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that one must approach a spiritual master to understand transcendental knowledge, right? Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena seveya. Right? And why does he say to do that? Because they know the truth, they can explain it to you in the right way. That is what he says in that verse. So that spiritual master is a representative of Lord Nityananda. Right? What does the name Balaram mean? One who gives strength. Right? We think when strength, it means to lift something. Physical strength is what we associate strength with generally. Right? But everything is running on spiritual strength. If you think about it, we talked about the Vishnu forms. One of the Vishnu forms is Shirodakashai Vishnu, who enters into the universe, is in the milk ocean, but he also enters into all atoms and elements within the universe. And that spiritual potency is what keeps everything running. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sutrai Manigana Iva. He says, I am holding this entire creation together just like a thread within a necklace of pearls. The pearls have a shape only because of the thread. The pearls themselves may be more valuable. But if you think about it, the thread is what holds it together. So no matter how we perceive the beauty or things in this universe as being amazing, they are all powered by spiritual potency and strength. And Lord Balaram is the source of that. Right? We think that our strength is what, physical strength, mental strength is what keeps things going, right? Ahankara vimudhatma. That's why Krishna says, Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. The foolish person out of ego thinks they are doing it. Right? In fact, Narottam Das Thakur says in a beautiful bhajan, Nitai Pada Kamala, he says, Ahankara mata hoya. Do not be egoistic. Right? So, in the same way, what happens? Same way, just like if you approach Lord Balaram, you get spiritual strength. If you approach Lord Nityananda, what do you get? What does Nityananda mean?
Always happiness.
Eternal bliss, always happy. Right? That is why this festival is most important. See, if you go into any ISKCON temple, when you have deities, you first pay obeisances to Lord Nityananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then you go to Radha Krishna. Then you go to Jagannath. Right? Because only by Lord Nityananda's mercy can you get Radha Krishna. We'll talk about that bhajan today. We'll discuss that bhajan a little bit. I think we'll have time and we'll explore this concept further. Along the same lines, we first pay obeisances to Srila Prabhupada before Lord Nityananda because he revealed Lord Nityananda to all of us. So we need Nityananda Prabhu's mercy to awaken devotional service. That is why we should celebrate Nityananda Treyodashi with full heart. Because if we do that, then the upcoming festivals we will be able to relish fully. Then only you can enjoy Gaura Purnima fully. Only by Lord Nityananda's mercy. Right? So this is, bhajan is called Nitai Pada Kamala by Narottam Das Thakur from his book Prarthana. So we can sing it later if we have time, but his book, his songs are so amazing that they have entire philosophy packed into very simple, easy to understand and sing words, right? So it goes, Nitai Pada Kamala, Koti Chandra Shushitala, right? The lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are a shelter where one will get the soothing moonlight not only of one but of millions of moons. Now, especially if it's a hot summer day, right? If you go out in the night, that moonlight feels really nice, doesn't it? It feels cooling. You feel like, okay, after this, the heat of the day, the moonlight is really nice. It feels pleasant. That is just from one moon. Lord Nityananda's feet are Koti Chandra. Yeah. Right? So if so many moons, millions and millions of moons together is the effect that Lord Nityananda's feet can give. What are they giving us relief from? From this torment of this material world. Right? So he goes on, if the world wants to have real peace, it should take shelter of Lord Nityananda. Then he goes on to say, what happens if you don't take shelter? Heno nitai bine bhai, Radha Krishna paite nai. If one does not take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, it will be difficult for him to approach Radha Krishna. If one actually wants to enter into the dancing party of Radha Krishna, then what must you do? Drida kori dharo nitair pai. With determination, one must hold on to Lord Nityananda's feet.
So strong.
Yeah.
Emphasize has been given.
So much emphasis. So Prabhupada said, people struggle. We all know this. People struggle to maintain one family. Right? That's our life, most of our life. But ISKCON maintains hundreds of thousands of families. Prabhupada said, how is this possible? Only by Lord Nityananda's mercy. Only by his mercy can ISKCON do this, is what Prabhupada said. It continues, Se sambandha nahiyar brita janma gelotar. Anyone who has not established his relationship with Nityananda Prabhu is understood to have spoiled his valuable human birth. How much spoiled? Se pashu boro durachar. So you have to understand, he's not equating it to animals. He's saying, even if you take a wild animal, you take a lion or a tiger, even a lion or a tiger, wild animal, by training can be tamed. Even the wildest of animals can be tamed by training. But if a person has not established a relationship with Nityananda Prabhu, they are even worse than the wild animals. Right? Even worse than animals. Pashubaro durachar. Even worse than wild animals. One who has not uttered Nitai na bolilo mukhe, majilo samsara sukhe. Because he never uttered the holy name of Nityananda, he has become merged into so-called material happiness. That is most of our life. So much focus and absorbed in material things, only because we have not taken full shelter of Lord Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet. Right? Then he says, Vidya kule ki kori betar. What can his useless education and family tradition do to help him? Right? Now we have to understand, this is again, he is talking from scriptures. And this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, Verse 5. Prahlad Maharaj says this, O best of the Asuras, king of demons, as far as I have learnt from my spiritual master, any person who has accepted a temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavana, where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent, and should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So even scriptures explain that one must take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Right? We can go into the other paragraphs of the song a little bit later, but I want to talk a couple of other things about Lord Nityananda. Then if we have time, we'll come back to this bhajan and we'll read through rest of the paragraph. Now, Lord Nityananda Prabhu is very special, right? Because Lord Balram is very unique position. He serves the Supreme Lord in every aspect of rasa. That is very, very unique about Nityananda Prabhu. In the sense that he serves, so dasya ras, he serves as a servant, right? Sakya ras, as a friend, he serves the Supreme Lord. Shantaras, all the paraphernalia we use to worship the Supreme Lord is a representation of Lord Balram. Right? He also, in the Madhurya Rasa, he is Ananda Manjari, right? He is Nanda Manjari. Nanda Manjari. He is also taken a form that helps in the Madhurya Rasa as well. She is the younger sister of Radharani. So that's the form he has taken. And of all these rasas, they are most prominent and most concentrated in Goloka, right? In Vrindavana. That is where the most intense manifestation of love for Krishna occurs. But access to Vrindavana is not easy. Because Krishna tells us what you need to do, right? He says, you should surrender. Right? He says that. He says it many, many times in the Bhagavad Gita. He says this material energy of mine, divine energy of mine is very difficult to overcome. But one who surrenders unto me can at once overcome it. He uses it many, many times. Right? But surrendering is a very high stage that is difficult for us to get. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us directions for how to get there through a simple, easy to follow process. And Mahaprabhu's mercy, the Acharyas compare it to flood waters. When water floods or flows over, what does it do? It goes to the lowest of the places first. So Mahaprabhu's mercy is like that. He is Mahavadanyaya. But Lord Nityananda is even more merciful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How is that even possible? Right? Because Mahaprabhu, whoever goes to him, he will try to give love for Krishna. But Nityananda Prabhu is not like that. Even for people like us who are absorbed in material lives, he goes, knocks on their door, waits for them to open, begs them and pleads them to chant. Right? You have to understand what sort of a heart a person must have, compassion in their heart to do something like this. He would go knock on the door. If they were very aggressive, he would pick up the straw from the floor of their house, put it in his mouth, and he would kneel down and beg, please chant the Lord's name. Yeah, he would do that. So much mercy, right? So Lord Nityananda Prabhu appeared 12 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He appeared at Ekachakra Dham in the home of Gadai Pandit and Padmavati. Even from a young age, when all children would play, he would bring all the children together and they would reenact pastimes. That was their play. All the children together will reenact pastimes. And it was not something that we do, right? Sometimes without much research, we know a little bit here, there. His pastimes were very exacting. Like he would do it in the same order in which they occurred. Every single detail, he would have designated people. Every child would have a role to play. They would play whatever that role is. And he would go so fully into it that people would be so shocked How does a child know? Like even the adults will be like, we have heard these pastimes, but this level of details we don't know. Right? He'd say, I was there. And he would enact those pastimes to the extent, like when he was performing the role of Lakshmana in Ramayana and a reenactment, and you know where he gets Lakshman gets hit by the arrow astra and he faints, right? Nityananda Prabhu fainted in such a way that his breathing, everything stopped. He was so fully into it that he completely stopped breathing. So when that happened, all the kids who were playing with him, they were like, oh no, what happened? He's not breathing, something happened. And the Asura had just thrown a lotus flower or a flower at him, right? So they ran and called the parents. Everybody comes running and they're like, what happened? Nobody sees any blood, nothing. And they explain, I just threw a flower and he fell dead like this, right? And they're all crying. Then one of the Prabhu says, you know, last week you did this other drama where you had, that was, or a few days ago when Ram went for Vanavas, Dashrath fainted like this. And then when the next step happened, he recovered. So why don't you try the next step? Then the children were like, oh yeah, he had actually, because Nityananda Prabhu had written the script, had given them directions. I will faint, then you send Hanuman to go bring this Aushad and do all this. But in their panic, they thought he will just lie down. But to see him completely stop breathing, they forgot everything. They lost track. They're like, oh yeah, he did tell us to do this, right? And then they go, continue. Then he wakes up, right? So even at that age, he would act in such a way that all the children would be so engaged and absorbed in Krishna Katha. And we should not underestimate the power of Katha. When you hear the Lord's pastimes, it creates that attraction in our heart, right? It purifies us. That is the whole, any acharya, any sampradaya you take, you will see this, right? That one must, the listening is highly emphasized because it has a huge impact, right? So then when he grew 12, from the age of 12, he spent 20 years serving devotees and practicing bhakti on his own. And then at the age of 20, Mahaprabhu called for Lord Nityananda. When Mahaprabhu was 20 years old, he called for Lord Nityananda. This is also a wonderful pastime. He sent out Haridas Thakur and Srivas Thakur to say, there is this great personality who has come to Nadia. Go find him. And you know, Navadvip is like a small town, right? It's not a big place. But these two searched for over 9 hours and they couldn't find him at all. So they searched and finally they gave up and came back to Mahaprabhu and they said, no, we couldn't find him. And Mahaprabhu says, yeah, he plays many tricks like this, but I will show you. So he took them to the house of Nandanacharya. And when he went there, so even this action itself, Vrindavan Das Thakur comments that finding Nityananda Prabhu is very important. Identity of Lord Nityananda and Lord Balram is very, very confidential. Even we, before we came to ISKCON, at least speaking for myself, I have heard of Lord Balram. Almost all Hindus have heard of Lord Balram. But we never thought of him as Adi Guru. Right? His position as Adi Guru was not revealed so easily. It is not highly publicized. That position was revealed by mercy of Mahaprabhu. That is how we get to hear. The scriptures explain that you get Krishna by mercy of Guru, but you get Guru by mercy of Krishna. There is this very interesting interplay between the two. One represents, right? The Guru is a representative of Krishna. So until we have a little bit of an understanding and faith in our hearts that Krishna is the Supreme, the thought of even inspiration to even approach a Guru will never come. Right? Then when that inspiration comes, Krishna leads us to a Guru. then the Guru leads us to Krishna. Right? It is a very wonderful interplay. Many times we may think, I've heard some people comment, for Arjuna it was great. Krishna was right in front of him. So he got the knowledge. Everything is good. It's not like that for us. No. The spiritual master is a transparent via medium. The same effect that Arjuna had, we can also get. Right? We must have faith and we must receive. Right? 1 minute. And one comment and then, yeah. So, you can say, like I said, Nityananda Prabhu's mercy is extreme. So one may say, hey, I've been going to this temple for 10 years. I've been seeing Lord Nityananda for 10 years. I haven't gotten any bhakti. But it is like saying, okay, I'm vitamin D deficient, but I'm not getting any sun. But I sit indoors in the air conditioning all day. Right? I have to make some effort to go out. The mercy is readily there. But mercy is a two-way street. Not only is it needs to come, but we also must receive it. Right? You cannot be passive and say, I don't want to do anything, but I want mercy. No, you have to go grab it. It's always available. Yes, Prabhu.
What do you mean by Nityananda Prabhu is transparent by medium?
So Guru is a transparent via medium. What that means is, so we are now looking outside, right? Thankfully, there is a glass in between, so we're not shivering. But we can actually see what is going on outside, right? So the glass is a transparent via medium. So what that means is, in a disciplic succession, the message spoken by Krishna is passed down from one guru to the disciple, to that person's disciple, all the way down to us. And when that message is received in that order, the potency of that message is the same as if receiving directly from Krishna's mouth. That is the transparent medium. Just like a post, if I write a letter and I post it, the letter goes the way it goes, the way I have written it, right? As long as nobody messes with it in between, get it, right? Letter may not be a relevant example, but our Amazon package is a relevant example, right? Whatever we order comes the way it was packaged and sent to us, as long as nobody has messed with it. So what do we first do? If it's a valuable thing, we look around. Is there any hole? Before I open, I need to take a picture and send it to them, right? That's how transparent via medium is. The message comes the way it is. As long as nobody adds their own stuff in between, the potency remains, right? So, when in this meeting, when Mahaprabhu introduced them to Lord Nityananda, he didn't talk about glories of Lord Nityananda. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Srivas Thakur to read a few verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. And when those verses were read, Nityananda Prabhu was overcome with ecstasy and love for the Supreme Lord. That he showed these wonderful symptoms that showed the devotees how perfect he was in bhakti. Right? So, Mahaprabhu speaks about Lord Nityananda. This is from Chaitanya Bhagavat chapter 4, verses 37 to 43. I understand that you are the full power of Godhead. Only by worshipping you can a living entity attain devotional service to Krishna. You are able to purify the 14 worlds. Your confidential characteristics are inconceivable and unfathomable. Who is qualified to recognize you? For you are the personified wealth of loving devotion to Lord Krishna. If a person associates with you for even a moment, he will be delivered even if he has committed millions of sinful activities. I have understood that Krishna will deliver me because he has given me your association. Out of great fortune, I have seen your lotus feet. Just by worshipping you, I will achieve the wealth of love for Krishna. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaking. Just by seeing Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet, one can achieve love for the Supreme Lord. That is the power. Right? He continues, you are the full manifestation of Lord's energy and the personification of the Sandhini Shakti. Just by serving you, a living entity's propensity for serving Krishna is awakened. O Nityananda, you are capable of easily purifying the 7 upper planetary systems of Bhur, Bhuvar, Swar, Mahar, Janas, Tapas and Sattva, as well as the 7 lower planetary systems headed by Atala. Your activities are beyond the jurisdictions of living entities' mental perception. Your confidential characteristics are incomprehensible to the living entities. In fact, no one is able to understand you in truth. You are the direct manifestation of ecstatic love in devotional service to Krishna. If anyone infested with millions of sinful activities attains your association for even a moment, he can never be called unfortunate. Although he is sinful, he is nevertheless most fortunate. I have clearly understood that Lord Krishna has sent you to deliver me. One who worships you will certainly attain the wealth of love for Krishna. Since I have attained the good fortune of seeing your lotus feet, it is to be understood that I have met with some particularly good fortune. Right? So if you think about these characteristics, similar things apply to spiritual master in some form or the other as well. Because spiritual master is the representative of Lord Balaram. Right? Especially, I'll speak a little bit from personal. If you think of the ISKCON Detroit, the Gauranitai deities in ISKCON Detroit were installed by Srila Prabhupada himself. Those were the last deities he installed. Right? So, it is possible. There are many temples, they have Lord Nityananda and many, many temples. If we go and take darshan,
We need Ottawa temple too.
yeah, whatever, all temples have, right? You can look at Nityananda Prabhu's feet and remember this mercy. And it's not just the scripture saying, right? Great personalities have demonstrated this as well, right? Acharyas follow what is in the scriptures. That's why they are acharyas. So, Raghunath Das Goswami, we talked about Goswamis a few weeks ago. Raghunath Das Goswami desperately wanted to be united with Mahaprabhu from childhood. But the way he fulfilled his desire was by serving Lord Nityananda. If you take Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, they were so anxious to meet Mahaprabhu. So much so that they gave up their vast wealth, power, position, everything they gave up. And they ran to Mahaprabhu. Even though they were so anxious, they didn't go directly to Mahaprabhu. They first paid obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu. Only then did they approach Mahaprabhu. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that one who is respectful to Mahaprabhu but neutral to Nityananda is doomed. Remember, not insulting, even neutral to Nityananda is doomed. He calls this half-hen logic. Right? You know this fable, right? I think it was an Aesop's fable, or it's a common fable, where a farmer has a hen that lays golden egg, right? And he's like, I like this golden egg, but that mouth part keeping on, I have to feed it a few grains a day, that feels too much. What if I cut it in half and I only keep the back half? Then I can keep getting the egg and I don't have to feed the hen. And he cuts, right? That is what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says. If you ignore Nityananda Prabhu and go to Mahaprabhu, greedy after the golden egg, that is what will happen. You will get nothing. We should pray to Nityananda Prabhu, that we are in a miserable condition and to please accept us in his shelter so we can make spiritual progress and thus be happy, right, in our eternal position. So we have, I think, a few minutes. So let me finish the other 2 paragraphs also of that bhajan. So Narottam Das Thakur explains this. Ahankara matahoya nitai pada pashariya. Right? Don't be maddened under false prestige and identify oneself with the body. Right? If you actually want to approach, then one must do Nitai Pada Sada Koro Asha. That one, that's the wrong one. Asatyare Satya Korimani. So he's saying that we are so much we are ignoring Lord Nityananda's feet and hankering after material things, which is false. We are taking the false, temporary material things and thinking that is everything in life. What happens when you have the mercy of Lord Nityananda's feet? Nitayar Karuna Habe, Braje Radha Krishna Pabe. Only when you have the mercy of Lord Nityananda can you enter into the Vrindavana pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Right? Dharo Nitai Charana Dukhani. Hold on to the 2 feet of Lord Nityananda. I am not reading the meaning as it is, I am just paraphrasing. Then he continues, Nitayar Charana Satya. Lord Nityananda's feet are the eternal truth. That is the spiritual potency. That is true. Sandhini Shakti. The material things are false. Right? Tahara Sevaka Nitya. I want to serve them eternally. And I want to have a desire. Nitai Padak Sada Koro Asha. That one must always desire the feet of Lord Nityananda. Why? And then Narottam Das Thakur says, Narottama Borodukhi.
Even he is one of the best.
Yeah, he says, I am very sad. And how is he saying? What should he do? Nitai More Koro Sukhi. He is ordering Lord Nityananda. I am sad, make me happy. Right? He is not begging or anything. He is ordering Lord Nityananda, make me happy. Right? How? Rakho Ranga Charanera Pasha. Keep me close to your lotus feet. Then I will be happy. Right? We are all hankering up, we are all in anxiety, right? We all want happiness, we want peace. But we are being tormented. Davagni, Sansara Dava. This whole material universe is like a fire, fiery, turbulent place. We are still absorbed in that, rather than going towards the cooling rays of 10 million moons. That is Lord Nityananda's feet. If we start to approach him, then we will get relief from this anxiety. Then we will get mercy with which we can experience happiness. Without that, we will be sad. There is no alternative. Any questions or comments, please?
I want to add a pastime of Lord Nityananda, as you said. I think the most merciful is more merciful than Lord Chaitanya. This is, everyone of us know it. It's the pastime of delivering Jaga and Madhai.
Yeah. That's a dangerous pastime.
Yeah.
In the sense that it is such a wonderful and sweet pastime that every point I was making, I was thinking of a connection to that pastime. In fact, we could do an entire sesh class actually on that one pastime. Yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
Yeah, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called for Sudarsana Chakra, but he stopped him.
So, for those who may not know this, have all of you heard of this Jagai Madai pastime? Yeah. All of you have heard of this, right? No? So Jagai Madai were very sinful people. So sinful that when they would walk on the street, people would run away. If anybody touched, even if their shadow fell on somebody, they would run and jump into the Ganges to purify themselves. They had committed all types of sins. Right? And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave an order to Lord Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur to go preach door to door. So when they started to go, Nityananda Prabhu saw, when these two were walking down, everyone was running, shops were shuttering, people were like, I don't want to be anywhere in their sight.
And they are drunk.
They were drunk and they were doing every possible sin they have committed. But when Nityananda Prabhu saw them, he was like, come, we will go preach to them. Right? And then he was like, what was his logic? He was like, if these two can become pure devotees, then everybody will understand the glories of Mahaprabhu. Not for his own achievement. Right? They will then understand the glories and power of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they go, they try to preach, and then they both, Jagai and Madai are two, they look at them and they start to chase them, to beat them. So they both are running, and as they are running, there is a very humorous exchange happening between Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu, right? Then they go back to Mahaprabhu. Every evening after they do their preaching, they go back to Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu asks a report, right? Because our movement is serious business, right? It's not just coming one day a week and then walking away. It is serious business. It's the business of ours. So just like any serious business, what was the report? What did you do today? What are you going to do tomorrow? All that. So when that was happening, Nityananda Prabhu says, I resign. Today, because of all this, I got chased. I almost got killed, so I am not going to do this. I resign. Then Mahaprabhu says, because they have seen you, they both are delivered. Right? Such sinful people. He says, because they saw you, they are delivered. Now, after this, a lot of other things happen, but after this, they go to Advaita Acharya. And there, Haridas Thakur is complaining. He's like, this Nitai, he's young. He's crazy, this guy. He's Avadut, right? They call him Avadut. He's crazy. He goes, there were these two ruffians. Everybody was running away. He dragged me there and he's preaching to them. Now, those two came to beat. He's a young guy. He runs away. I'm getting caught. I can't run as fast as him. I don't want anything to do with him. From tomorrow, I don't want to be in this team. You team me up with somebody, right? And then Advaita Acharya goes a step further. He says, because they have seen you, I tell you that very soon, these two will be part of that inner circle of devotees who get to see, who do Kirtan all night with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See, many people get to see, but there is a select group of inner circle to whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reveals more of his real nature. And Advaita Acharya said, by your mercy, these two will come. Right? Now, we can go on this pastime forever, but I will touch on one more aspect that highlights Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. So what happens when they go again? Nityananda Prabhu doesn't give up. He goes to preach. This time they were not fast enough. Why? Because there was a wine pot that Jagai was holding. And he threw that wine pot. They kept a safe distance, just like fireworks. But because he threw it, it hit Nityananda Prabhu and he started to bleed. Now when Mahaprabhu found out,
he actually broke the
wine pot and
the part he has thrown like this.
Yeah, so it cut. That sharp, he broke the pot and he threw, and that sharp cut. So when Mahaprabhu heard this, he got so angry that is the reference that Prabhu was making, that he took out his Sudarshana Chakra to kill.
Yes, he was attempting to call.
Yeah, he was going to call. So when he stood, then Nityananda Prabhu held on to him and he said, no, you don't know. This Madai, when he was going to, Jagai was going to hit me the second time, Madai stopped him. He saved me. You see, Not the first time. First time he was watching. Nityananda Prabhu is bleeding also. Right? It's not like he's bleeding. And with the blood he is saying, he saved my life because he stopped him from hitting me second time. Now imagine how we would react in these situations. Somebody hit us once, we wouldn't say thank you for not hitting me second time, right? That was his mood. So then he says, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu makes a statement. Because you have saved Nityananda, you have purchased me, he says. That is the secret. Even though Mahaprabhu, whose heart is so merciful, to access him, if you please Lord Nityananda, then you almost purchase Mahaprabhu. If you are fully surrendered, you are completely purchased Mahaprabhu. That is the speciality. Jagai Madai pastime has so many nuances, you can go in forever, but these are the key highlights where it shows the glories of Lord Nityananda, how merciful he is, and what you can get by worshipping him. Right? If such people, you know what happened after this pastime? They would chant hundreds of rounds a day. They would chant 200,000 names.
The other devotees.
They would chant 200,000 names, 128 rounds a day they would chant. And even after, there is still more. Even after doing that, they felt so much remorse. They chanted, there are some wonderful prayers, especially that Jagai prays to Lord Nityananda. Incredible prayers. He actually claims, you all know Ajamal pastime, where Ajamal, even though he was a sinner, he chanted Narayana's name once and he got opportunity to continue. He got protected, saved from Yamadutas. So Jagai Madai say, that is nothing. Because at least Ajamal indirectly chanted the Lord's names. We didn't do that. We actually attacked and hurt the Supreme Lord. And still we were delivered. Right? That is why, when we say Mahavadanyaya, there are so many reasons. But even more than that is Lord Nityananda. In fact, the scripture, there is a verse, Ajanulambita bhujao kanakavadara. Like it explains characteristics of Gauranga and Nityananda. And they are both the same. Characteristics are the same. Both have Ajanulambita bhujao, both have long arms, everything is the same. They both look very similar, everything looks the same. But the difference is Lord Nityananda is even more merciful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that is a very valuable secret. When you know a secret information, what should you do? No. Exploit it. Exploit it. Right? That is what insider trading is, right? When you know a secret information about something happening ahead of time, right? You see all these parliament people, they are all extremely rich. Why? Because they know what rule they are going to pass. So they buy stocks, sell stocks ahead of time, right? So when you know secret information, before it becomes public, you should capitalize on it. Right? This is material life. Now we know the secret. The secret to access the pastimes of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. What is the secret? Nitair karuna hobe braje Radha Krishna pabe. We need to seek. We need to desperately seek the mercy of Lord Nityananda. That is our only hope. Many of you have asked me this question, and I experience this too. Our bhakti, we have a lot of ups and downs. Some days chanting is good, some days chanting is not that great. Sometimes we struggle more. The more we surrender to Lord Nityananda, You see, imagine you're drowning in the ocean or some water. Somebody throws you a lifeboat or a life, whatever is that thing. What do? Float. You would grab onto it, right? How would you hold on?
So tight.
Desperately grabbing on. Nothing should be let go, right? That is what we call holding on for dear life, right? That is how we should hold on to Lord Nityananda's feet. Because if and when we do that, then we will get access to Mahaprabhu and access to Radha and Krishna. Without doing that, we have no chance. Right? And I want to emphasize, right? Next week, we have His Holiness Bhakti Marg Maharaj coming. Right? Especially those who are listening online and also all of you who are here. Come, listen, because he is a spiritual master, authorized, right? He is considered to be a representative of Lord Nityananda. So it is very valuable to hear from such personalities, because they give, when somebody gives initiation, it is a huge undertaking, it is a huge burden, it is like very difficult to even conceive what they are doing. So when somebody is willing to go that far, then we must take advantage when they show up. Whether you want to take initiation from him or not is irrespective. One must come and hear, because he has dedicated his life in service. And that has a potency, that has an effect. Right? So for such a personality to come to Windsor and speak is our good fortune. So please, everybody who's listening online, who's here, we should all come and take advantage. We should hear from such personalities.
And he is one of the direct disciples of Prabhupada.
Go, same thing, like I said, if you can cross into the border, go one day to ISKCON Detroit, take darshan of the Gauranitai deities that Srila Prabhupada himself installed. Right? We have, even though we may think we are in this part of the world where everything is material, everything is not, no. We have access. We have access to such wonderful personalities, to such wonderful temples all over the world. Prabhupada has set that up out of his causeless mercy. So the mercy is there, and it is a two-way street. So it is up to us to take advantage. We can't sit back at home and say, okay, I'm not getting any mercy. No. Take some effort and you will see how Krishna reciprocates. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. Whatever effort you take, Krishna will reciprocate. He says he will reciprocate equally, but he actually reciprocates many, many times over. Right? So please come, take advantage next week. I'm so looking forward to hearing from him. All of you come and it'll be nice. And maybe one of the weeks after we can do one session dedicated on Jagai Madai. I think that will be a very wonderful pastime to talk through. Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for your kind attention. Please forgive me if I misspoke something. Please. I don't know.
Are you going to sing the Glade? Oh, Kirtan?
Yeah, you can do Prabhu.
Okay.
Krishna is fine. Or if you want to sing with the I'm okay.
Okay, so I'm going to sing the bhajan
Yeah.
Yeah,
Prabhu,
that
yeah.
one.
Yeah, it's one of the.
Put the flowers.
Is it ready? Is the altar ready then? Adishyam Prabhu, we should probably bring Nityananda deities to the front, right? Go and move the picture from this one.
Hare Krishna. We are going to sing the bhajan dedicated to Lord Nityananda by Narottama Das Thakur. Hare Krishna.
Oh, sorry, before you start, if you want to follow along, you can sing. If you want to see, you can go to KK Songs and search for
Oh,
Nitai
yeah.
Pada Kamala.
Yeah, KK songs. In different language you can.
While Kirtan is going on, can
Do
Yeah.
the Pushpa
Oh.
Abhishek.
Yeah.
Oh, we can also, like, we are arranging for Pushpa Abhishek, so we can, while doing the Kirtan, we can also offer flower to Lord Nityananda as well. Eva. Nitai pada kamala Koti chandra Shushit chandra Shushitala
Easier to clean later.
जे छाया जगत जुराया जे छाया जगत जुराया निताय पद कमला कोटि चंद्र सुशीतला निताय पद कमला कोटि चंद्र जे छाया जगत जुराया है न निताय विनय भाई राधा कृष्ण पाइते नाय है न निताय विनय भाई राधा कृष्ण पाइते नाय दृढ़ करे धरनी तारे पाय दृढ़ करे धरनी तारे पाय शेष मंद नाही जरा वृथा जन्म गेल तर शेष मंद नाही जरा वृथा जन्म সেই পশু বড় দুরাচার সেই পশু বড় দুরাচার নিতাই না বলিল মুখে মজিল সংসার সুখে নিতাই না বলিল মুখে মজিল সংসার সুখে বিদ্যাকুলে কি করিবে তার বিদ্যাকুলে কি করিবে তার অহংকার মত হইয়া নিতাই পদ পাশরিয়া অহংকার মত হইয়া নিতাই পদ পাশরিয়া অসত্যরে সত্য করে মানি সত্য করে নিতায়ের করুণা হবে ব্রজে রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাবে নিতায়ের করুণা হবে ব্রজে রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাবে নিতায়ের ব্রজে রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাবে নিতায়ের করুণা নর নিতার চরণ তাহার সেবক নিত হে চরণ সত্য তাহার সেবক নিত নিতাই পদ সদা কর আশা নিতাই পদ সদা নরতম বড় দুঃখী নিতাই মোরে কর সুখী নরতম দুঃখী এই দাস বড় দুঃখী নিতাই মোরে কর সুখী এই দাস সুখী নিতাই মোরে কর রাখ রাঙা চরণের পাশ রাখ রাঙা চরণের পাশ জয় নিতাই জয় নিতাই জয় নিতাই জয় জয় নিতাই 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 জয় জয় নিতাই गरा भक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गरा भक्त जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गरा भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Bol Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Bol Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Bol Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Prabhupada Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Patit Pavan Srila Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Bol Hari Bol 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 Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Bol Hari Bol Gaur Brahmanande Hari 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 Bol जय जय राधा माधव की जय, जय कुंज बिहारी की जय, गौर निताय की जय, जय जय नित्यानंद महाप्रभु की जय. All goes to the assembly with this Hare Krishna. All goes to the Guru Gauranga Hare Krishna. Jai Nitai Gaur Brahmananda. We need more time.
And important announcement. Next week we will be meeting in the other room. So this is the last day we are meeting here. So starting next week, we'll always be in the other room. It's called the Wildwood room. Same space. So the bigger space. The big one. Oh yeah.
Not the arena program.
Not the arena.
Not here.
The same facility.
The same
Yeah.
building. Other side. Just on the other side of the room.
महाप्रसादे गोविंदे
महाप्रसादे गोविंदे
नमो ब्राह्मणे वैष्णवे
नमो ब्रह्मणे वैष्णवे
स्वल्पपुण्यवतं राजन्
सर्वपुण्यवतं राजन्
विश्वासो नैव जायते
विश्वासो न जायते
शरीरा विद्याजाल
शरीरा विद्याजाल
जोरेन्द्रियता है काल
जोरेन्द्रियता ही काल
जीवे फैले विषय सागरे
जीवे फैले विषय सागरे
द्वार मध्ये जिह्वाति लोभो मोह सुदुर्मति
लोको मोहेश धर्मति
ताके जेता कठिन संसारे
ताके जेता कठिन संसारे
कृष्ण बर दोय मोय
कृष्ण बड़ दोय मोहे
कोरी बारे जिह्वा जाय
कोरी मारे जिब्बा जाए
स्वप्रसाद अन्नादि लोभाय से अनामृत पाओ
अमृत पाओ
राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ
राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ
प्रेमे डाको चैतन्य निताय
को चैतन्य निताय
जय निमाय जय निताय
जय निमाय जय निताय
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. महाप्रसादम की
जय.
Who wants to do the Pushpa?
One last announcement, not exactly an announcement, but a request. We're going to have the flyer out very soon, posted in our main ISKCON WhatsApp group for Maharaj's visit next weekend. Our request is if everybody can share that flyer as much as you can in your networks. We want as many people as possible for that event so they can all be associated or take the blessings of Maharaj. Hare Krishna.